Man, what's up? It's your boy Cameron, bro. Night, bro. Today, we're gonna be reacting to 10 word thing Goku did to Vegeta in Dragon Ball. I don't know what to say. We're about to go ahead and get into it, though.
Goku's a good guy, plain and simple. Or, well, maybe not so simple since he's not 100% altruistic and tends to do some pretty terrible things, especially to Vegeta. From their first meeting to the end of Dragon Ball Super, Goku has done some awful things to Vegeta, most being things that were terrible in Vegeta's eyes. Even if it's just because Vegeta has a fragile ego and a strong sense of pride, Goku has done some pretty terrible acts toward his fellow Saiyan. And we're here to chronicle every single one, from the Saiyan Saga to the Universal Survival Saga.
Spidey!
Defeated him. Starting off, we have the moment that started Vegeta's entire character arc throughout the
He didn't beat Vegeta. They gonna get out of the way. He did not beat Vegeta.
Dragon Ball franchise, getting beaten by Goku. When the Saiyan Prince finally got the
Tell me he did not get beat by Goku. He did not get beat by Goku.
chance to fight Goku, he didn't think much of him. He was the strongest Saiyan elite after all. However, as their battle raged on, Vegeta found he was outclassed by the so-called low-class Saiyan. Not only did Goku best him in battle, but he also managed to deflect and defeat the Saiyan Prince's Gallic gun, preventing it from destroying the Earth. Now, you could very easily argue that Vegeta had this defeat and the physical injuries related to it coming, since he was a villain at the time. But from Vegeta's perspective, this defeat was one of the worst things that happened to him. Not only was he was beaten by a Saiyan deemed to be of lower class and power than him. For someone as prideful as Vegeta, this is a heck of a...
Bruh, everybody know if it weren't for Goku, Han, Krillin, and Yachiroga, Goku would have been dead, bro. And you really, like, what y'all, like, when he was in Great Ape form, Goku would not stand a chance. And what you gonna say? Goku used Kaioken on Vegeta. If Goku didn't have Kaioken, he would have been dead. He transformed on Vegeta, but Vegeta transformed on him back.
blow. And he would see this defeat as one of the worst things that ever happened to him, seeing Goku as his rival from then on. Spared his life. As if losing a fight to a low-class Saiyan and his Earthling friends wasn't bad enough, Goku also inflicted one final blow to Vegeta's pride in the Saiyan saga by sparing his life. As a proud warrior, Vegeta would have preferred a warrior's death, meaning even if he was real mad about losing to Goku, he would at the very least die fighting with all his might like a true, honorable warrior. Unfortunately, Goku didn't even give him that much. As Krillin approached with the Yajirobe's sword to finish the job, Goku reached out with his mind to stop him, telling him to spare Vegeta's life simply out of motivation to get stronger, though maybe he also saw ally potential in him like Piccolo. Regardless of the reason, Goku denied Vegeta his warrior's death. Something he was pretty angry about, though he didn't seem too upset for long, seizing the opportunity to summon his ship and escape to safety. Became a Super Saiyan. Prior to this transformation, Vegeta had regained his pride by fighting Frieza's forces and getting stronger. In fact, he had gotten so much stronger he believed himself to have reached the level of Super Saiyan. With this power, Vegeta was back on top, thinking himself once again to be stronger than Goku. That is, until Goku showed up on...
Bro, when I was younger, I could not tell what the hell Raccoon was. Think about it, he looked so much like an Earth, I actually had to research what the hell Raccoon was.
Namek even stronger than before. As if this wasn't bad enough, Vegeta eventually found that Goku had actually turned into a Super Saiyan, not an assumed transformation, a real one that once again punched Vegeta right in his fragile pride and ego. Thus, Goku achieving the first Super Saiyan transformation in over 1,000 years stands as one of the worst things he's done to Vegeta, despite the power of it being used to avenge his death. Of course, this wasn't actually that bad from Goku's perspective, and Vegeta eventually went Super Saiyan himself, but still, it was the third blow to his pride in a short amount of time. You can see how Vegeta would hate Goku for this. Called him weak. All the terrible things that Goku had done to Vegeta prior to the Cell Saga were indirect blows to the Saiyan Prince's pride. Things he had done that weren't meant to wound Vegeta's ego, but unintentionally ended up doing exactly that. In the Cell Saga, however, Goku finally directly wounded Vegeta's pride with a comment about his strength. After seeing the power of Cell's perfect form, Goku assessed that neither he nor Vegeta were strong enough to defeat him, right to Vegeta's face like a total jerk. Talk about just plain rude. Again, it's not really that bad to say to him, but considering the fact that strength is so coveted in the Dragon Ball universe, and considering it's, Vegeta, this is a pretty terrible thing to say. In fact, it may have very well contributed to Vegeta giving up fighting at the end of the Cell Saga on top of seeing Gohan and Goku both surpass him. Waited to intervene. Fast forward to Dragon Ball Super, and we have one of Goku's dumbest, most selfish, and most terrible acts. We are, of course, talking about when he showed up on Earth to help in the fight against Beerus. No, not when he actually revealed himself to Beerus and eventually fought him as a Super Saiyan God. We're talking about when he initially arrived on Earth. As it was revealed near the saga's end, when Goku admitted he saw Vegeta's infamous My Bulma moment, Goku was watching from afar for quite some time before actually intervening. Think about that. Goku left Vegeta in the midst of Beerus' wrath without jumping in to stop it or help in the fight. Not only did this put Vegeta in danger, it also resulted in injury for him and Bulma, and forced him to act like Beerus' servant and jester in order to quell his short temper. Vegeta was furious with Goku upon learning this, and we're sure he let him have it later on. Permanent fusion information. Speaking of waiting too long, this wasn't the first time Goku did exactly this to Vegeta,
I like the animation of the
resulting in one
tail.
of his worst moments. The moment in question and the horrible deed he did in it comes from the Buu Saga, when Goku was sent back to Earth to use the Potara to fuse and form a warrior powerful enough to defeat Buu. Originally, Goku was going to fuse with Gohan, but he was absorbed by Buu, so he fused with Vegeta, who was also sent back to Earth to finish the fight. Desperate to form a fighter strong enough to destroy Buu, Goku pleaded with Vegeta to fuse with him, something he had a lot of trouble accepting. But eventually, Vegeta got over his pride and put on the Potara, knowing that doing so was the only way to save the planet and bring back his family. However, just before he put on the Potara, Goku told him that the fusion might be permanent, failing to give the information until the last minute in what has to be one of the biggest jerk moves in the history of Dragon Ball. Or at least one of the dumbest moves. We can't help but feel Goku withheld this information on purpose, which makes it even worse. Interrupted fight with Frieza. Our next entry comes from both Resurrection F and the Dragon Ball Super saga that adapted it. During the fight with Frieza and his newfound golden form power, Goku ended up losing thanks to the interference of Sorbet. Luckily, Vegeta stopped Goku from dying by the hands or feet of Frieza. Following this, Goku let Vegeta have a go at Frieza. This fight ended with Frieza at Vegeta's feet, but he wasn't down for the count yet, since he released an attack that destroyed the Earth. Whis was able to reverse time and give Goku the chance to intervene, stopping Frieza's attempt to destroy the planet. This saved the world, but
They could have let Vegeta have that moment. They really could have. It wasn't no point in letting Goku get that.
it interrupted Vegeta's fight, something he really hates, as evidenced by how he reacted to Goku showing up at the last second. Again, this saved the Earth, but at the same time, it was a jerk move to Vegeta. The guy wasn't the least bit thankful to Goku for saving his butt, which is why we're going to consider the interruption as one of the worst things that Goku did to Vegeta. Goku Black's Sword. Next up, we have a bit of a technicality since this horrible act was committed by Goku Black and not Goku himself, but we're still gonna count it because it's one of the sickest moments in all of Dragon Ball Super.
The hand
Goku
movement,
himself, but we're still gonna count it because it's one of the sickest moments in all of Dragon Ball Super. In this saga, we were introduced to Goku Black as an evil version of Goku who destroyed future Trunks' world much like the androids had before. This made for a frightening villain-centric saga, since it was the first time we saw an evil Goku. It also resulted in a moment that stands as one of the worst things Goku, or at least a version of him, did to Vegeta. The moment in question came when Vegeta was up against Goku Black and the villain broke out his signature attack, his Dark Energy Blade. With this attack, Goku Black pierced straight through Vegeta, severely injuring and probably messing him up due to having an evil Goku clone fatally wounding him. Again, it wasn't actually the real Goku who did this to Vegeta, but since it was a Goku, we wanted to throw it in there as one of the worst things done to Vegeta by his rival. Seriously, taking an energy blast is one thing, but an energy sword probably hurts way more. Teleported into his bedroom. Next up, we have one of the funniest moments in Dragon Ball Super when Goku's ki control and thus his instant transmission went awry. This was because he had pushed his body to the brink by combining his Super Saiyan Blue form with the Kaioken power-up during his match with Hit in the Universe 6 saga. The overexertion of his energy led him to lose control of his ki, causing his powers to go nuts. One of the results of this sickness was that his instant transmission didn't work correctly, leading him to teleport into Bulma's bedroom as she was getting out of the shower. To this, Bulma screamed in surprise, aiming all of her security guns at the intruder as Vegeta came to see what happened, finding Goku accidentally peeping on his wife. As if this wasn't bad enough of a thing to both Bulma and Vegeta, Goku one-upped this by saying he wasn't there to see Bulma naked, since she was too old now. To this terrible comment, Vegeta screamed at Goku, telling us just how horrible the whole ordeal was. Caused the Tournament of Power. Last and certainly not least, we have the Tournament of Power. What about the tournament makes for one of the worst things that Goku did to Vegeta? The whole thing, of course. First off, the fact that Goku was the indirect cause of the tournament in the first place makes him the reason for Universe 7, and thus Vegeta and his family being put at risk of being...
Bruh. They could have did something better than that. Super really made this nigga dumb as fuck, bruh. He was too dumb in Super. That's another reason why I like GT better.
Being erased. Second, even though Vegeta no doubt had a good time fighting in the tournament, since Saiyans love a good fight, it still led him to some of the worst injuries he sustained in his life, and forced him to use his final explosion for a second time, a move that might have cost him his life. As if all that's not enough, Goku also brought Frieza back to life to compete in the tournament, and due to his help in the battle, Whis gave him his full life back, meaning Goku's responsible for Frieza being alive and out causing mayhem in the universe. Something Vegeta rightfully yelled at Goku for in the beginning of Dragon Ball Super Broly. So there you have it.
But y'all, Super really did make Goku dumb as hell, bruh. They made him dumb a little bit too dumb. But y'all want to see more videos like this? Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me what y'all want to see below. Stay me down.